Hello, hello. Can you guys see me okay? Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. My lighting's not great, but it is what it is. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay. Hopefully the internet holds. I'm hoping and praying. Hold on 1 second. Let's see here. How's everybody doing today? Give me 1 minute, guys. Forgot to share. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Here we go. My date was good, Ash. Dominique, thank you. Hello, hello. I didn't see if you guys can hear me or not. Let's see here. Let's see. Why does it always say top chats? Let's just go live chats so I can see everybody. So weird, right? Does that? Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me put your chats in a new window because it won't let me scroll up and down. All right. There we go. Sounding good. All right. Thanks, guys. Well, first of all, thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to thank John Nelson, my lovely John Nelson. Big kiss to you. I have the best followers. I think, John, you send me this one, which is really cool. It's got this nice black blue shine in it. You probably can't see very well. But I believe this is a Labradorite, but I don't know how you say it in English. But you didn't put any explanation with it, so I'm assuming this is Labradorite because it's got that nice kind of bluish shine to it. So this is a really nice stone. And then you gave me, and I have, it's a little crumbly, and it's probably because it went on all this way from England to France. But you gave me this. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's really cool. It's really sparkly, and it's black corborundum, which is actually a man-made stone. Oh, what's popping up on my screen here? It's actually a man-made stone, which is usually used for cutting diamonds and metals and all of that. But it does have certain healing qualities. It's really good for like headaches. It's really good against depression. It's just really cool. It's just, and the camera's not doing it any justice. I wish I had better lighting. But it's got these kind of rainbow colors. It's just a really cool stone. Thank you so much. I'm going to add it with all my other ones that you guys sent me. This little heart, and you guys sent me. That was rose quartz, and this is rock crystal. And this one, I forgot the name of it, but I use it every day, and I go like this, and I instantly feel this overload of energy, which is really cool. Anyway, thank you guys. Let's get started. Thank you, John. My love from me to you. I feel so grateful. And all these cards, these are all gifts from you guys. You know, so many wonderful gifts. This was a gift. And this was a gift. I am just so blessed. Incredible. Moves my heart more than I can even express. All right, let's get started. Welcome. Today we are going to do some angel card readings. Know and understand that I probably won't be able to get to everybody today, but understand that spirit works through other people. Okay, so if there is a message that you're hearing and it gives you kind of goosebumps, or it gives you this kind of feeling of, I feel like they're talking about me. Well, if you get that feeling, or you're even thinking it, then the answer is yes. Pay attention. This is for you as well. Okay. Spirit will always use different ways to let us know that, hey, pay attention. And it's usually emotional or through thoughts and visualizations. I have to clean up a little bit because that one stone is very crumbly and it is very sharp. So I have to be careful that I do not cut my hands. Because, like I said, it's a very hard stone. Number 9 on the scale of hardness. That's why they use it to cut metals and all kinds of stuff. So I just gotta make sure I don't cut myself, and I gotta find a spot where it doesn't have to be moved too much around. All right. So let's get started. Okay. Now you just kind of randomly go over your names, and whoever I get drawn to it kind of gets highlighted. Okay. So there's John. John's on. Hello, my sweet John. Thank you so much. I don't remember if you had a question about the stones, but it's wonderful. Let's see who we've been drawn to. Julie Garza. Hopefully I say that right. From Colorado, Denver, Colorado. I used to live actually lived in 2 places, although I am European. I've lived in a small little town called Estes Park, which was completely closed down in the winter. So we had to drive all the way to Loveland just to get groceries. And then I lived with my husband in Colorado Springs. Which one for Julie? Which one? Okay. No? Okay. This one. So I love Colorado. I miss it very much. I miss nature. I miss just waking up and seeing the mountains and having the deer graze in my backyard. That's what I miss. We've got deer here too. And I've seen twice running across my field, but they're not as big. They're very small, and you don't see them very often here. They're usually in the forest area. Let's get a card for Julie Garza. I've lived a little bit of everywhere, trying to find myself. Let's see. In the light of the moon, you've got 2 cards, Julie. And you have the gift of neutrality. Look at that. I'm not really good at holding them together. In the light of the moon, a full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. Ooh. And the gift of neutrality. Balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but reside side by side to create the gift of neutrality. I just read that whole thing and nothing registered. So fun having dyslexia. People think that dyslexia is something where we mix up words or we put them in the wrong order, and that can be a part of it, but not all people who have dyslexia have that. It's actually a short-term memory loss problem. And so we're reading, but it's not registering. And so I have to reread it sometimes. So give me a minute, because that one did not register at all. Okay. If there are people out there with dyslexia, you know what I'm talking about. When I write a post and I'm channeling, not a problem, but then I have to reread it to look for spelling and all of that. I swear to God, it takes me all day to proofread what I wrote or what I received. And just because as soon as I get a few lines further, I'm like, wait. I block and I start over because I'm so paranoid that I'm going to make a spelling mistake. I got to make a post on dyslexia because it's much more than I have trouble reading. It affects everything in your life. It really does. I write everything down because I will forget. I have lists and lists. Everything I need to do, I need to write it down. I got to make a list. And when we come to communicating with people, I have a hard time keeping my focus on what people are saying. So a lot of times I will interrupt people because let's say we're talking about something. I really have to focus on the person who's talking like extremely hard to keep my focus there and to understand what they're saying. And then a lot of times an ID comes in and I will interrupt that person because I have two choices. I can't hold on to the ID that I have and listen to you. So a lot of people will think, oh, she's rude. She's interrupting me. My husband always thought that until I explained to him why I do it. And then he's like, okay. If you see me and my husband talk together, you'll see that I interrupt him a lot. And it's not because I'm trying to overpower him. It's simply because if an ID comes in and I feel like it's really important that I say this, if I hold on to the ID and I have to really focus on the ID, I can no longer hear or focus on what the other person is saying. So I have to make a choice. Do I simply stop listening to the person and just pretend that I'm listening while I'm focusing on what I want, what I need to say, what I'm receiving from spirit? Or do I interrupt that person, say what I have to say first, and then ask the person to continue what he is saying? So these are all things that are part of dyslexia, having a dyslexic mind. It's a short-term memory problem, and it's much more than just a reading problem. So there's so many aspects of me and my behavior that I didn't figure out till much later on from via spirit, because I always thought, well, am I rude? Am I trying to overpower Gerald? And they were like, no, you're doing it because of this. And it made so much sense. So there's so much more to dyslexia. And it's really funny for me when people sometimes say, oh, she's reading it off, or she just memorized everything spirit is saying. She's not really channeling spirit. She memorized it and she's just spitballing it out. I wish I could, but I don't have a memory like that. I can't even remember 10 lines. Like I would be the worst actress in the world because I just can't remember my lines. And that was my biggest problem in school. That's why I didn't succeed in what I wanted to do, because everything was memorization. And it took me sometimes a whole week to memorize one page for a test. So I was a horrible student, and nobody figured out that I had dyslexia because I could read fine, but they didn't understand that when I read something, it just doesn't register in the brain. And so nobody picked up on it. I figured that out through spirit that I had dyslexia. And then I went into and studied it, and I was like, oh my God, all of these symptoms, that's coming from my dyslexia. Like I didn't know that so much of my behavior is because I'm trying to compensate for stuff that's not working properly. So anyway, everything has a reason. They also told me that my dyslexia is there for a reason, because I'm not allowed to hold on to all of the information that I'm getting. I'm here to be a conduit for the information. But if I would completely fill my brain with everything that I am channeling, I would literally explode of all the knowledge and the wisdom that I have to process on a daily basis. So it has its benefits. It's intentional that I have it, because my brain never stops. Like I am always receiving information, even when I'm not having clients or channelings or readings. And I'm sorry this is taking some time, but I just want to explain something to you. Because maybe some people out there, you guys might have that too. And you think there's something wrong with your brain. Well, there is, but you know, everything has this purpose. So on a daily basis, I'm receiving information about the world, about the future, about possible futures, about dimensions, about my brain. I mean, I drive Gerald crazy because I'm like, oh my God, think about that and this and that and this and that. And he's like, oh my God, does your brain ever shut up? And I'm like, well, my brain shuts up, but the information, the inflow doesn't shut up. So I'm always thinking about everything to the point where I exhaust myself and then I have to like take naps during the day just to kind of recuperate. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. Julie, let's talk about Julie. Woo! There went Emma. Bum, 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 bum. Julie. Okay, let's see what I'm getting on an intuitive level. That's a lot easier for me than reading what's on the cards. But as long as you guys understood what was on the cards, then we're good. So I usually look at the cards and my messages come from the pictures. I'm very visual. Words and letters, it works. I can read, but I can't register them. So it's usually the pictures that kind of spark something and that kind of helps me to get to the message. What am I getting for you? I just kind of feel like you're trying to reestablish some balance in your life. I feel like you've been a little bit all over the place, and slowly but surely, you're getting back into kind of a flow. You're getting back into this kind of understanding that, getting worked up about things and allowing the outside world or other people to get to you really doesn't fit you in any way or form. You're starting to realize that on an intellectual level, but they really want you to embody that piece as well. They really want you to bring what you know into your heart space so you can feel re-energized, so you can stop feeling so tired and not have the energy or the focus or the inspiration to actually continue to create your new day and the day after and the day after. That's kind of what it feels like. Okay, so right now you're in a state of resistance because you don't like what you're feeling and you don't like what you're seeing out there, and it just feels like everything's messed up and everything's kind of jumbled, and what you knew before and what you experienced before just isn't the same anymore, and you're kind of like, well, where is this headed? And it just kind of creates anxiety, and it's like you're being asked to allow yourself to go through the transformation, to find the yin and yang, to find the balance, to find the peace, the energy, the inspiration that will then lead to the new creation of your future, because there is a transformation that needs to happen. Things will fall away, things will fall apart, and that's okay. It's about surrendering, allowing it to fall apart, knowing and keeping this truth in your heart that when something falls off, it's because space is being created in order for new things to come in. So don't see things ending or things changing or things falling apart as something bad. It really is part of the transformation that is necessary for you to really follow and find your kind of inner path, your inner ability to design and recreate your journey, because they're kind of making me feel like you do have a very creative side, but you never allow that to unfold. You never allow it out because you're too analytical. You're too much within the human conscious ego construct. You're too much in your head, and you're not enough with the flow of your personal heart current. Okay, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but basically flow with it. Do not go in a state of resistance, of fear, when it comes to things falling down, crumbling down, or disappearing, just see it as the universe offering you the opportunity to bring, create, and manifest new things, new people, new relationships, new jobs, in whatever way or form, new energies to move in. Does that kind of make sense? I hope that helps. They're kind of saying it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes we got to let things go in order to make space for new things to come in. And that's what you're going through. You're going through a transformation. And it is scary because the human ego construct was programmed to fear anything of the great unknown. But they're saying, trust us. Trust us. We got you. Okay? They want you to have faith. All right? So I hope that helps. Bea Verscharen. Hello, my sweet Bea. Let's get you a card, my love. Yeah. Nope, not that one, they say. This one. Okay. Metatron cards. All right. Ah, there it went. Ooh. White. Purity and innocence. Look at that. Purity and innocence. This is a really good tea. It's the first time I'm trying it, but it's good. It's apple cinnamon. Okay. So this is what I'm picking up on. It's almost like you have already transcended into the fifth dimensional plane. You're already there on an energetic level, but there's the creation of that dimension is still undergoing. So it kind of leaves you with this kind of like, oh, okay. This kind of feeling of, okay, I feel like I'm no longer grounded into the 3D, 4D reality. And I feel like I've moved up, but I don't see many changes yet. And they're saying, you've already been shaped into your diamond self. But be patient is what they're saying. Be patient because slowly but surely, this is the time, usually around springtime, where people will start joining you in that fifth dimensional plane. So what is really important is to protect yourself, is to really focus these next few months on protecting your energy, keeping it balanced, to not fall for despair. Oh, is that all it is? I don't see much difference. Okay. It's really about being patient because understand that the fifth dimensional plane is being created by it's going to be created by many different souls, not just by one soul. And so what you're now being asked to focus on, stay in your fifth dimensional plane and slowly but surely be creative in how you want your reality to look like. And then you'll see that people will join you there because they're going to make me feel like you feel a little bit alone. You feel a little bit disconnected from everything and everyone. And that's okay. You're being put into a bubble of creativity is what they're saying. So maybe paint your world. I don't know why, but they keep showing me painting your world on a canvas. Like envision it. What do you want it to look like? It's about putting energies into the void, into the emptiness, in order for the emptiness to become the world, to become your world, your fifth dimensional plane. Does that kind of make sense? So get into your little bubble. It's like don't be tricked or don't be seduced to go back to the 3D. You might be a little bit lonely up there in your little bubble, but creativity, creation is what your focus should be on within that bubble. And then other souls will join you. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm getting for you, Bea. So paint or probably one of those things. See, I told you they're really sharp, so very dangerous. But paint your new world. Okay, right? Draw it, paint it, whatever you need to do. But stay in your little bubble, even if it's a little bit lonely right now. It won't stay like that forever. Okay. Serenity Hills. Okay. Serenity Hills. Thank you, sweetheart. Let's see. Let's get you a card. This one. Okay. You get 2. Okay. There you go. Oh, a little bit further. One card reads, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. And the other one says, true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Serenity. I'm very drawn to these kind of those pink blob. It's almost like paint that kind of drip down, but I'm seeing a forest of pink trees and poppies. It's almost like people trigger you, like some people that you surround yourself with are just not in the best of your interests. And it's almost like you need to create space. You need to allow yourself to be yourself with the people. And when you do that, 100% yourself. Stop playing a character in order to fit into other people's ideas of what you are, how you should behave and what you should be thinking about. Allow yourself the freedom to be you. It seems very, very important. It's important to express who you are, what you want, what you desire. And don't feel guilty about disappointing people. There's something about people. It's almost like you're being asked to get out of this is what I'm seeing. You're being asked to get out of the bushes and to go into the forest of love and self-love and just beauty. Okay, the pink ones. Just like get out of the bushes, go into a different location. And it's not really a location, it's more you. I just keep seeing energy vampires, like people that take your energy, people who don't really vibrate with your understanding of the world, but still you're holding on to them because you feel an obligation. You feel like you owe them, or you feel like, we've been friends for so long, I can't just step away from them. But they're kind of saying, unfortunately, those people keep you in a frequency where you no longer want to be, and then you feel trapped in life, and then you feel like there's not an evolution, like you're not seeing yourself evolve. But you don't understand that it is because you choose to continue to surround yourself with those people who keep you grounded in that vibration that you no longer want to be in. Does that kind of make sense? So really, the biggest message here is you need to become your most authentic self with everyone. Stop playing different characters for different people. Stop playing any character, but simply allow yourself to be who you are, regardless of the responses. And this could be family, this could be a partner, this could be, what best friends, whatever it may be, colleagues. Stop being fake around other people and just allow yourself to be 100% true to who you are. And when you do that, those people who do not love you for who you are will eventually move away, and you'll be allowed, or you'll feel better about moving into a new space. The other thing you can do is it's like you have to look at your relationships and say, are these really still the people I want to hang out with? Because it's not about condemning them. It's not about, hey, screw you. It's not about that, but it's about understanding that when we truly hold on to people who just simply will never, or just simply aren't ready to see the world, or understand the universe the way that we do, then it can hold you down if you attach yourself to them. You see, you can communicate with anybody on any kind of frequency, but when you allow them to change who you are, when you have to change yourself, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. See, I can hang out with anybody. It doesn't matter what dimensional plane you're on. No problem. But I will never allow myself to be a different person with other people. When you meet me, this is who I am with everyone. You guys are seeing me. This is who I am. You can ask anybody who knows me. This is who I am. I do not become another character or another person because I'm on YouTube, or because I'm meeting this big celebrity, or because I'm meeting, a person who's not open to the spiritual. I am who I am. I am unapologetic for who I am, because I like myself and I'm proud of who I am. And I might have not chosen the best Ferrari vehicle in this lifetime, but I still love myself. And I think, everybody should feel that way about themselves. And if other people do not approve of who you are, or judge what you say when you speak from the heart, then there's no reason to hold on to those kind of people. Then maybe there'll be other people out there for them that'll be more at their level of understanding. So sometimes letting go of relationships is actually a blessing for both parties, because then we create space for both parties to attract new relationships that will allow communication and interaction to occur on a frequency that we can actually deeply connect with. Does that kind of make sense? And that's what I kind of feel for you. Like, really look into the people that you surround yourself with. Stop playing characters, even with your parents, with whoever, family. We even play characters with our family because we want to be accepted and we want our parents to be proud of us. Fuck that. Be you, and be unapologetic about it, because there's no need to apologize. You are who you are, so you would have a certain experience, and everybody else who came into this journey with you and who was going to meet you at some point knew before they were born that this is how you are, and this is what you will offer them in that relationship. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's what I feel. So really do some soul searching in regards to your relationships, and really allow yourself to be free, to be the person you are without playing a character to fit in. Okay? So I hope that helps. All right. It's so important, because we cannot ground in the fifth dimensional plane. If that's what this all fifth dimensional plane is about, authenticity. It's about realigning with who you are truly, without the manipulations and the influences of family and mom and dad and parents and in school and society. If you want to move into a fifth dimensional plane, you have to find and become your most authentic self. It is one of the crucial demands to be able to operate from a fifth dimensional plane. So it seems very crucial for you. Okay, so I hope that helps. Hello, hello. Let's see. Hi, Patty. All right. Let's get a card for Patty today. Let's see. Patty. This one. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Mary. Hi, Dia. Hello. Hi, Elmer. Hi, Jersey. Or Jersey. I forgot what we call you normally. Patty. Katrina, you're becoming 42. So you are from 82, 1982. You're a year younger than me. Yeah, I'm from 81, so I'm 43 this in a little bit. 28th of, boom, there it went. Did you see that card sign? 28th of March, so almost. Soul Star activation, Patty. Soul Star activation. All right. Fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Patty, whatever it is you're doing, they're kind of giving a thumbs up. Keep doing what you're doing, but stop doubting yourself. Stop. The thing you still need to work on is you're still unconsciously disconnecting yourself from the bigger picture that you are. You're not just an individual. You are the entire universe, and therefore that allows you to access all of the information that you're seeking to help or assist yourself or others. So it's really about remembering who you truly are. It's about aligning with the understanding that you are not a little piece in the universe. You are the entire universe. You are God, and God is you. Therefore, all access is possible for you. That it can only occur when you become that knowing, when it's no longer just an idea, because you understand that on an intellectual level, but you have to feel it when you live your day-to-day life. You have to become that truth, and that's the last thing that you still need to work on. But you're doing really good, so keep helping people, keep working on. In a way, it's not about, it's okay to have an ego because it allows us to have this individual journey, but we can also have the individual journey while feeling deeply connected to the knowing that you are everything, and therefore there are no limitations to the information that you have access to. Okay, so that seems to be very important for you to know, and that's the thing you need to work on. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna check my Patreon page because I know some people on there requested a message as well that couldn't make it today. And I'm going to do Jessica Druhel Smith because it's her birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Jessica. Happy birthday, my love. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you. Gerald would say, you smell like a monkey or something. You smell like one too. I don't know what he says. He's weird. That's why I love him. Because he's weird. Patty says, is there certain ways to do that? Nobody can tell you how to feel what you know to be true. That is something you're going to have to figure out. And it's something that you're going to have to figure out. It's literally about bringing it into your heart space, and it's about letting go of the false belief that you're separated or that you're a separated entity from a source that you know you are a part of. You are not separated. You never were, and you still aren't. You are just having an experience in the conscious mind, a temporary experience that allows you to have a more individual approach to an individual perspective, an individual approach to the magnitude, the complexity that you are. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's what I'm getting. Jessica, resilience. There is no need to rush or push. This is a time to take things as they come. You have the determination and patience to handle what is happening. It's about flowing. It's about just allowing things to unfold for you without trying to force or control it. Okay? If you look at a turtle, because, see all these hearts, look at that. If we just flow, and it kind of reminds me of that turtle from Finding Nemo. Like, whoa, they just flow. They don't overthink things. They just, they're not looking for signs in the ocean, direction signs, or which way is that way. They're just kind of allowing themselves to be pulled by the intuition that they feel. Oh, I feel like I need to go in that direction today. Okay. Really start living your life more from an intuitive level than from a pre-designed idea of where you need to go into, how you need to get there, the steps you need to take to get things going. Make those decisions based on your feelings, not on your ideas. And when you just kind of flow with what feels right, then you're always going to be going in the right directions. So learn to flow more, okay? Less pushing or forcing the universe to go in a certain direction, and more trusting and surrendering and just living mindfully and really operating from, okay, what do I feel I need to do today to make tomorrow a better place, to make tomorrow one step closer to the goals that I'm getting, instead of trying to force things. Does that kind of make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, John Nelson. John, let's get you a card. Thank you again for those wonderful stones. I love them. John, which one? Ooh, they're doubtful. They're taking two. Okay, so they want this one. Hold on, they want two different packs for you, John. And they want this one. Okay, we'll start with this one. Let's see. All right. Serenity Hill says, thank you, Emma. I know I do that, and it is something I am working on, period, but it's mostly around my dad. If you have a chance, can you pull another card from a different deck? Thank you. Well, we have a lot of people, so we'll try and do one card a day, but maybe next time. Okay. Bye-bye. Whoop. Clearing the excess. Okay, this is the card 1. I don't know if you can see it. Clearing the excess. And then I'm going to get one right here. Spirit told me 2 different packs. 2 decks. Oops, there it went. Detach from drama. Detach from drama. So here are the 2. Oh, there we go. Here are the 2 cards for John Nelson. So clearing the excess. You are entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whether it is in your physical body or your physical space. Okay. And then that was detached from drama. Look up. I feel like it's that movie, Don't Look Up. It's almost like you're finally in a stage where you've accepted your spiritual job, where you are allowing your spiritual path to unfold. So it's almost like before, spirituality was a way for you to get to know yourself better, a way to heal, a way to make sense out of the world. But you're getting, or you're starting, or you're in the beginning phases of stepping out of the student role and moving into the teacher role, if that makes any sense. So you're in this kind of transformational phase. But they're saying in order for you to fully embrace your new role, your new adventure with the spiritual expansion that you're on, you also have to detach. You have to let go of energies that are in a way kind of still keeping you in this victim consciousness state. And it's not because you are a victim in your head, but it's simply because those energies might have come from a person or might have been given to you from a person who was in victim consciousness and is now in that energy lingers on in whatever it is they gifted you. So it almost feels like you have to kind of cleanse your house or clear your space, and really let go of items that, 1, you don't really care for, but 2, you're holding on to them because somebody gave it to you, or somebody who was negative. Because you have to understand that items take on the energies of the person who is giving it to you, even if that person has no negative intentions towards you. If they themselves were in a really bad place, then all of that negative energy is also being absorbed by the item that they are holding, because we are not solid beings. We are molecules bouncing together in empty space. And so when we grab something, the molecules of the cup is now blending themselves with the molecules of my hand and actually becoming one entity. So I'm now, my energy, my molecules who have an energetic frequency are now mixing with the energy molecules of the mug. Now my energy is going to be far more intense than the mug's energy, but that mug now is absorbing all of that energy that is within my molecules, and therefore I am passing information and energy onto this mug. Then even when I let it down and I let go of it, that mug has now absorbed my energy. Does that kind of make sense? And that's why certain mediums will ask you to bring an item of the person you want to connect with, because everything we touch absorbs our energy field, because it blends together. Our molecules mix and we become one person. This ring is now part of me. Now the human ego says, no, this is a separate thing. But if you would look under a microscope, a really intense microscope, you would see that these molecules are now mixing. My hand and this is now becoming one entity, because the molecules mix with one another. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So that's why items sometimes, when you buy a secondhand item, always cleanse it, even if it's a closet, a bed, antiques, antique jewelry. Always cleanse it before you bring it into your home, because it can have negative energies into it, can have positive energies. That's why sometimes when you're looking for a home, you move into you go house hunting, you go into a house, you instantly feel love and positivity, or you go into a house and you're like, I got to get out of here. This feels very negative, because it absorbs everything. But you hold on to things because you're very sentimental, and you hold on to memories, and you hold on to things from the past. And that's okay. I'm not saying you're a hoarder, but you do hold on to things because they have some kind of something you want to hold on to, even if it's not always a positive person who gave it to you, or a person who might have not been honest with you, but you're still holding on to it. There's some kind of you always feel bad if you're letting go of something that was gifted to you. And they're kind of saying, you really need to either completely cleanse the home and every item in it, but they recommend letting go of certain things to not only clear your space, to make your space more yin and yang, um, maybe reorganize furniture in your space. But it's like your home, where you live, is very important for what you're going to do, because that energy, the energy in your home, is just as important as the energy you feel, because it's all one space. Right now, I'm in my home. My home has to be cleansed regularly, and it might not look pretty, but this home feels like love, because there was only one family who lived in it before, and this home was filled with love. I needed a home that was loving, and because I know the home influences me, and I influence the home, you know. And so I have a really easy time letting go of things. Um, of items. I'm not very materialistic. I love my crystals and I love all of that stuff that I use. But when it comes to pictures, or when it comes to, photographs can have massive amounts of energy onto them. If you're holding on to photographs of a person who really hurt you, or who really, who you did not have a good relationship with, get rid of it. Why are you holding on to it? Do you see what I'm saying? So really kind of go through your home, clear it, cleanse it, but also cleanse your space, because we hold on to too much clutter that we simply do not need, and can influence our energy. Does that kind of make sense? Because you're doing really good, is what they're saying, but make sure that your home's energy is equally high vibrational as your body's energy, because you're always in it and it's always affecting you. Does that make sense? You have to look at life from an energetic perspective. You are not a solid form. We have the illusion of solidity because we are observing this reality from a dense, earthly dense frequency. Now, you guys ever seen the movie Lucy from Luc Besson? A lot of people don't like that movie. I adore that movie, not because of the action in it, but what she's saying in that movie, how we can change shape if we want to, because it's all one cell. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 fingers or one finger, it's all one cell. Anyway, she explains it real well, and it's so accurate. It's crazy. And then she eventually disappears. She becomes invisible, because when our frequencies get to such a high frequency, we no longer can maintain the physicality that we're in. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna stop it there. You know me, I'll keep talking. All right. Let's see. Sarah Lars. What do they call it? Silicone carbide. Made only in Poland. Well, Spirit told me it was a black carborundum. So I don't know if that's the same. I've never heard of silicon carbide. So it is a man-made stone. So I don't know. Who knows? Either way, it's pretty. Sarah Lars. Sarah Lars. Let's see here. Okay, Sarah. This one. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear, there it is, and fear into love. Let's see. The first thing that I'm drawn to is the roots of the tree. It's almost like you need to ground yourself. You are not using Mother Earth's healing energies to your benefit. You really need to, on a daily basis, a minimum of 10 minutes, get your feet naked and stand on grass, sand, anything connecting you to earth, because there's a lot of healing that still needs to take place. It's about releasing fears. You're holding on to so many fears, and it's really not necessary, is what they're saying. It's really not necessary. It's your fears that keep you kind of stuck. It's the fears that keep you it keeps you in this kind of neutrality. Like, it's almost like your insecurities and your fears and your worries, it's like it shut down your sensory your senses, your sensory system. So it kind of, how would I explain it? It prevents you from feeling things profoundly. For example, it's your birthday, and in your mind you should be happy, and you pretend you are, but you're not really feeling it. You're not feeling the excitement. It's Christmas. Christmas is a fun time, and your head tells you it's fun, but you're not feeling it. It kind of leaves you in this paralyzed state where your senses are shut down, because one, you're not grounded, and two, your fears and your insecurities have removed you from your heart chakra, have removed you from your sensory space, which is your intuition. Intuition is felt. Intuition is not something it's not a thought. It's not an idea. I mean, we can get ideas, and that's usually our spiritual team saying, hey, think of this. But that's not intuition. Intuition is something we feel, but you seem to be paralyzed. You seem to be stopped. Like you don't see evolution. You don't see things moving anywhere. It's just same old, repetition, automatic pilot. And so, it's just like, you don't like it. You don't like the way it makes you feel. You don't like being stuck. So we need to turn those senses back on. And the best way to do that is through mindfulness exercises. So go online, look up mindfulness exercises on YouTube. There's many different exercises that you can do on a daily basis to reactivate the senses. Because how can you follow your intuition if you can't feel anything anymore? And I mean deeply. like deeply, like it overtakes your body. When we're children, everything we feel is so intense. The joy we feel for getting a balloon. Oh my God, the whole world is crazy beautiful. We got a balloon. We lose that sometimes because we try to protect, we get hurt, we shut things down, fear kicks in, anxiety, distrust, all kinds of reasons happen to us, and then we shut down our sensory system because we try to avoid pain and we try to avoid too intense feelings. But it's the one thing, we're told you can't cry and you can't show emotions, and that's weakness. And so we shut everything down and we start to live on this from this neutral, like our heart is paralyzed, this neutral place where our minds is telling us we're happy, but we don't really feel it. Where our minds tell us we're excited because it's an exciting thing that happens. So we've got to be excited, but we don't really feel it that intensely, or at least not the way we were built to feel it. And therefore we can't find our guidance. We can't tap into our guidance because we just simply can't feel it. Does that kind of make sense? And so, Sarah, they're showing me really ground yourself, really connect back to nature, ground yourself on a daily basis so you can heal from trauma, you can heal from the fear of the big unknown, and really look into mindfulness exercises to do on a daily basis. And you're only going to need that for a little bit until you have reopened your sensory system. But when you do, that's going to make a big change in how you experience the world around you. When we can feel things deeply and intensely on such a spiritual level, then everything becomes highlighted, and so many people say, I don't feel happiness. I don't know how to feel it anymore. I can't. It's so many, and it's because they intentionally shut that down through the manipulation that's going on. But we need to feel, and we need to allow ourselves to be sad sometimes or to cry. Crying is such a powerful exercise to release lower vibrational energies, negative energies. It's how our body releases it, is through crying. And we are taught not to cry. So all those negative energies, they just build up, build up, build up. And then, we have this you know, massive breakdown, kind of like a volcano. It builds up, and then when it spews out, it's so far already that it's really hard to actually then lift yourself out of that sadness. Does that kind of make sense? Channeling, healing, everything comes from here. If you can't, if this is paralyzed, then you're not going to be able to channel. You're not going to be able to do energy healing. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things that you are made to do, the natural abilities. And it's because we've always been taught to shut this down. We can't feel. Do you see what I'm saying? But it affects everything, and I'm a person, I cry at least once a day. I have to. And there's so much, pain and sorrow that I have to absorb from other people. I have to let it out. So I cry on a daily basis, and that's okay. Because I know what I'm doing. I'm not just being weak. I am expressing, my body's letting go of energies that don't belong to me. You see what I'm saying? So important. Because if you don't allow yourself to feel everything on an intense level, then your intuition can't help you because you won't feel it. You might get a little bit of hint here and a little bit of hint there. When I have intuitive feelings, if I don't follow it, I get physically ill. That's how intense I feel. You got to go to France. I mean, I never thought in my life I was going to end up in France. And I felt it so strong. Like, I was like, if I don't go and start taking the steps, I'm going to explode. That's how intense my intuition is. Like, I cannot question it because it's so intense. It's impossible to question it, And that's because I've allowed myself to go through depression. I've allowed myself to feel suicidal at one point in my life. I've allowed myself to have highs and lows and intermediate ones, and highs and lows and intermediate ones. My whole life has been a roller coaster, but I've allowed every emotion to be there. I've not suppressed it. I have expressed it. I have allowed myself to feel it and to undergo it. But I've never allowed myself to get stuck in it. And that's the difference. Does that kind of make sense? Sarah says, I have stuck energy in one part of my neck and shoulders. Well, you know, when we have neck pains and shoulder pains, you're carrying on too much stuff, too much worry, too much pressure, you know? Release that shit. Go into your heart space, you know? You're carrying on too much. You're putting too much pressure on yourself, you know? Release, cleanse, ground yourself so you can let go of that. Cry. Get a good cry. Give yourself a good cry. Okay? Release it. Scream. Sometimes people will scream real loud because it's a way of expressing energy. All right? So the pain will go away. But like the card said, what was it? You need to ground yourself. Mother Nature is there to help you, but you have to use it. You know, when we put our feet, and why our feet? Our feet have the biggest pores in our entire skin. Okay? The feet have the biggest pores and they absorb the most and the quickest. But when we connect to Earth, not only does it improve our circulatory system, blood starts flowing more fluently, blood starts to declot and is actually nice and pure, but we also absorb electrons, energy. We absorb electrons through the soles of our feet into our body, which provides energy to our cells and to our organs and everything. And that's something that's been proven. Look it up. Look up grounding and the research that's been done. I mean, it's crazy how they can see everything change in the body after a 10-minute walk on the grass. When they draw blood, the blood's completely acting differently. The energy in the body and the cells looks completely differently. They've done so much research on this. This is not something that's imaginary. This has been scientifically proven that we absorb electrons from Earth into our bodies that we need to keep our bodies energetically healthy. So grounding for you is super important, but also the other bit that they were talking about, okay? So I hope that helps, my love. Okay, let's see here. The Violent Hippie. Lace Mitchell. Lace Mitchell. The Violent Hippie. That's kind of a cute name. I hope you're not too violent, though. I hope you're a loving hippie. Because violence is just a no-no. This one. I like your name, though, Lace. It's cute. Lace is so delicate, beautiful, and Magical Gateway, Lace. Magical Gateway. You're welcome, Sarah. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It is time to step boldly forward without looking back. Okay. Lace. There's something about that key that she's holding. You have the key in your hands, they say, but you're not using it. Use it, Lace. Use it. In other words, it kind of feels like they're saying, you know the answer. It's like you have the solution to the problem, but you're afraid to use it because you're afraid of the responses or the reactions that your outside world or your community might have upon you making that decision. And they're saying, Don't ever base any decisions, or don't ever let anything or anyone influence or take you away from what you know you need to do. It doesn't matter how much you love them. It doesn't matter how important they are to you. If they know that you're following your heart, they will support you if they truly love you. So it's about taking control of your own destiny and using the key. You have the answer. Use it. Don't doubt it. And don't let anyone, including your own insecurities, take you away from taking the steps that you know you need to take. Okay? That is the message I get from you. I hope that helps. Hello, hello. Hi, Destin. Let's get you a card, my love. Tippity top. Don't you stop. Tippity top. This one. Okay. Hi, Mary. Hi, Kasha. Thank you, Manon. You're welcome. I just hope some of these messages resonate with more than just one person. Maybe some ice plunging too. Sarah, if you are brave enough, you go for it. You know, water is very purifying. It's a high vibrational source of energy. So absolutely. That's why we feel good after we wash. People think, well, we feel good when we take a bath or a shower because we're cleaner. No. We feel good because water cleanses our energy field. That's why we feel better. It's not because your skin is cleaner. It's simply because your energy field was cleansed while you were in the water. This water absorbs negativity out of your energy field. Thank you, sweetheart. I will write down in the comment section, for those of you who sometimes have to leave, always come back to it and look in the comment section. I always write down the names of everybody that I pull a card for, because I know sometimes people put their name down and then they have to leave. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to pick a name, okay? Because I go up and down when I scroll. Blessings and thanks, abundant universe. Look, it almost looks like the cornucopia. What do you call that? Cornucopia or something? This is for Destin. From the Fruit of the Loom thing that they're saying never happened. It did. I had so many Fruit of the Loom t-shirts. It's not even funny. When I was a kid. Only it was a different parallel reality. So in this one, our parallel reality, if you have known this label on your t-shirts, the Fruit of the Loom, then you came from the parallel reality that I came from. But that one was destroyed because they destroyed it. But it wasn't our time to die yet, so we just hopped into another reality and another version of us. Okay, blessings and thanks, abundant universe. Destin, what am I getting for you? I could be wrong, but it's almost like you you made a change job-wise maybe, or something has changed career-wise and it's affecting your income in some way or form. I don't know if something is ending, if you're losing a job, or if something has changed, but it almost feels like job-wise there was a change, there was a transformation, but it has also had an impact on your financial abundance. And it's almost like hang in there, and do not fall prey for the illusion of lack. Hang in there. The universe has your back. The universe will find a way to make you guys be okay. And if you release that worry, then you will notice that your bank account will do things that you were like, well, I don't know how that happened, but I'm grateful for it. You're going to be taken care of. That's really what you're saying. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. But the universe doesn't want you to worry about the finances. It sounds like blessings are on the way. Gift, help, or gifts are on the way, or financial improvement is on the way, is what they're saying. But you have to let go of the worry, because it's the worry that stops the abundance from coming to you, from oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? Materializing into your reality. TP Top says, yes, spot on. Thank you so much. Okay, so stop worrying, okay? Universe got your back. No need to worry. No need to worry. Yeah, the Fruit of the Loom thing. Yeah, you can go to Fruit of the Loom, the company, and they show you all their old logos, like from the beginning when they started, and there's not one with a basket. Not one. It's crazy. Well, it's not crazy. It's just we wake up in different realities because the electron, you know, the machine where they discovered the God particle, they did some kind of experiment and it went wrong and they destroyed that parallel reality. But everybody who didn't have to go that day, you know, basically you forget that the world exploded and you wake up the next morning in a parallel reality that's very close to the reality you were in before. So you don't see too many big differences, but I've seen a ton of differences already. So much has changed. Once you start paying attention, a lot has changed. And that's what we call the Mandela effect. It's not people remembering things. That's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Great 50 million people are remembering it all in the same way and they don't even know each other. Come on. It's just, we we do it all the time, we just don't always realize it. We hop from one reality into another according to one, it can happen when our frequencies change, and two, it can happen when somebody fucks up that reality. Damn it, that reality is no longer there or can no longer offer us the experience we wanted to have. So we wake up basically in a different reality the next morning. That's basically what happens. Because keep in mind, we're always in heaven. Okay, we're not really here. This is just our consciousness is being projected into a physical body, kind of like Avatar, right? He's in his booth. Well, our soul is up there in the higher realms, higher dimensional planes, and she just kind of it doesn't really have. You don't really have a sex or a gender. There, that doesn't exist up there, but basically places its consciousness into a physical body. And when we go to sleep at night and we move into the deep sleep, that's why our brain, if you look at what the brain does on deep sleep, it kind of shuts down, and what we do see is during the deep sleep, the pineal gland starts to become super active. It's the only time that when we sleep, when we die, when we're being born, right after we're born, our pineal gland is very active. And when we meditate is the only time the pineal gland actually is actually very active. So when we go into the deep sleep, the pineal gland starts to act very bizarre and very weird. They can see that on the scans. And that's the moment where we wake up in heaven. We go, wow, that was an interesting day. Holy moly. We get out of our little booth. We do our thing up there. And then before we have to wake up, our body has restored itself because we restored a body at night. We go back, go back in our little booth, place our consciousness back into this body. We go through a REM sleep, which is a rapid eye movement sleep, which is where we dream. And it's in that dream state. Even if we don't remember our dream, we always dream. It's in the dream state that we forget everything that we just experienced. And we wake up thinking, oh, another day. But that allows the spirit to hop into bodies in different parallel realities, because there's a version of you in many different parallel realities. You're not the only one that looks like this and is like this. Okay, there's many different versions happening all simultaneously, one next to another. But then you have, and this is where the complexity comes in, then you have all within the same dimension. You have an infinite amount of versions of you, where sometimes you make different decisions. Oh, I'm not going to go out with that boy. And in this one, you did go out with that boy. And in that one, you went out with a girl. And there's all these different possibilities unfolding themselves in parallel realities within one dimension. And then you have that infinite amount. And then you have the different dimensions also. Okay, so we're now moving into a fifth dimensional plane, where we kind of start recreating new parallel realities with every decision that we're making. So, I mean, the universe is so complex and it's infinite that it's really hard for a human mind to wrap your brain around that. And that's why Spirit is always like, don't take life so seriously, because there's so many different versions of you. You'll get it right somewhere. It's okay. That's the thing, that's, and most of those, parallel version of you will die at the same time. That is one thing. But you will have different experiences and different parallel realities all simultaneously, of the same chosen main story that you've created. And I mean, it's so hard to wrap your head around that, but that's just how it is. That's why Spirit always says, relax, just have fun with life, because you're not this one character. You're not this one Emma, or you're not this one Katrina, or you're not this one Sarah. You're much bigger than that. You are the entire universe. And it's just hard, because we choose this incarnation to have the illusion of individuality, but it is just an illusion. So anyway, look at me. I could talk about shit for hours. How do I know? I don't know. I've always known that since I was a kid. I've always looked at the world very differently. And I always felt alone because nobody could follow me in that understanding. But now I got you guys. So now you guys, to some degree, will get that understanding one day, And if you don't understand it now, that's okay. That's okay, Oh, small wild flowers. Small wild flowers. One day, everybody will get it to a certain degree. Oh, where'd you go? The hell happened? There we go. Okay. Animals. Okay. I don't know. If you ever come to my live event on the 7th of September this year, and the weather is, hopefully the weather will be great. In the evening, I want to have a big bonfire on my property, and everybody's invited. I can talk hours and hours, and I don't even know where all that information comes from. I've never read books on spirituality. I've never followed a class on spirituality. I've never followed a teacher. I've just always known this stuff since I was little. My mom used to say that I would talk crazy and they wouldn't get it. But, and now I'm thinking, well, maybe I wasn't talking crazy as a little kid. I was just explaining things that you couldn't wrap your head around. Because, my mom's not the spiritual. I mean, she believes in all of everything I do, and she's always believed in angels and guides, but she's never had those insights herself. Like, she's a big book reader. Like, she will read a ton of books on spirituality, always has. But I've never read books or anything. People give me books, and I keep them because they're given with love, and I like the vibration. But my mom will read them. I usually don't read them. I can't read with my dyslexia. It's just, I can't absorb information that way. I absorb information at night. And sometimes I feel it when they're downloading. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, but again, I mean, I don't know. But for me, it's a very common thing. Like I'll get tucked in, I'll get cozy in my bed, and, and I get all relaxed. And then all of a sudden I feel, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like they're plugging in an electrical socket into my back, and it's always in the middle of my spine. And I feel this kind of vibration, and it doesn't scare me anymore. It scared me when I first, so many years ago when I first felt it. It scared the crap out of me. But I've had it so many times. I know now that when they do that, it's almost like an energetic voltage that goes into my spine. And then I get this kind of very light buzzing feeling, kind of like vibrating. And then I'm kind of like, oh, must be getting another download or something. And then I usually fall asleep. Like it doesn't, it starts to fade after a while. And while it's fading, I fall asleep and then I wake up the next morning and that's it. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, but I get that on a regular basis. At least a couple, once or twice every 3 months or so, something like that. Anyway, I'm weird. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, Gerald. And I was like, what? He's like, what? And then I'll be like, oh my God, I floated to the ceiling and I got stuck on the ceiling. And I felt so peaceful. Oh my God, I felt so good. And I don't know who it was, but I thanked him because it's like my body was aching one day and I just felt, all of a sudden I felt myself floating. Like I wasn't asleep. I knew I was awake and I kept telling myself, don't open your eyes or you're going to interrupt the process. Whatever was saying that in my head, don't open your eyes, you're going to interrupt. And I always go, okay, I'm not going to open my eyes. And I trust. I don't go into a state of panic. It's kind of weird, but I've always, I don't interrupt the process, because if you get scared, boom, it's done. It stops. You can't, if you feel something weird or something funny, trust it. Just, okay, I'm protected. I don't need to worry. Trust that you're protected. If something is negative, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel that it's negative. I've had 2 or 3 times that I had a very negative spirit try to get into my body without my permission while I was sleeping. And, I push them out real quick. So you instantly feel, you feel this negative, dark. And I'm like, get the fuck out. This is my body. You are not allowed to come in. I did not give you permission. Because you get paralyzed. Like you can't move your body. And then I get really mad. And then I feel this, it just lifts out of you. And then I'm okay. Like my body, I'm like, I get mad. Like, get out of my body, you. Small wildflowers. It's taken a while to get a card here. Maybe it's because I'm talking. Maybe I should just stop talking. I'm a little crazy, people. If I would have said all of this so many years ago, they probably would have locked me up. But that's the reality for me. I get the weirdest stuff. But I've gotten so used to it that I'm no longer resisting it or I'm no longer fearing it. I'm just like, okay, whatever you need to do, go ahead. And you get the coolest experiences that way. Polite declaration, small wildflowers, polite declaration. You can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals. It is time for you to get out there, claim what is yours, and stay in your power. There's something about the green swirlies. There's this big red lobster in the middle, but I'm not even barely seeing it. This is like, it's like bright, like it's popping out, like it's luminous. It's almost like parasites. It's like parasites, like you're being infested with parasites. it's almost like I feel you need to do a cleanse. And I'm not saying you have parasites, but it feels like something is infesting you physically. And it's affecting everything. It's like there's something in your body that is just not, they might not pick up on, if you go to regular medicine. There's so many people who are going through things and they can't find anything. It's almost like an energetic infestation. Like I feel crawlies and creepies all over me. It's really weird. And I feel like you need to do a very thorough cleanse, because this kind of lower frequency, lower energies that are kind of, it almost feels like you were communicating or connecting with a person who is very negative, who was very kind of weird, and you were kind of like, oh, that's a weird person, or that's a weird thing to say. Like you picked up on the weirdness, but you didn't understand that somebody was intentionally trying to, it almost feels like somebody's intentionally trying to sabotage you. Maybe somebody who's jealous. I'm not really sure on who it is, but I just feel like you've been infested with energy that, one, doesn't belong to you, but two, it is cramping your style. It is changing your everything. It's affecting everything. And a deep, deep cleansing. What does it say again? Polite declaration. You can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goal. It's time for you to get out there, claim what is yours, and stay in your power. It's what they're saying doesn't really make sense with what I'm feeling, but it's almost like you have to understand that it's like what I said, the negative entities trying to get in. You have to claim your power and say, no, this is my body. I reject, I expel this negative energy because it does not belong to me. I am sending it back to the universe. You need to do a cleansing, a deep cleansing for at least a few weeks, where you can use salt under your bed. You can soak your feet into warm water with, for example, rose quartz in there, some salt, Himalayan salt, anything that's pink, because it needs to be overpowered with love frequency. And then do a smudging, or, a smudging is like with sage, where you cleanse your home, cleanse everything, cleanse yourself, and then mentally and emotionally stand your ground. Okay, don't get scared about this. This is not the time to get scared. This is a time to be brave and to claim your independence, to claim your energy field back. Okay, claim it back. I never gave you permission to be in here. I didn't give this energy permission to enter my energy field. I am rejecting it, revoking it, and I am reclaiming my health, my energetic independency. Okay? Say it out loud, think it, whatever you need to do, write it down, but make it so. Nobody can enter your space unless you allow them to. And if you weren't aware that it happened, then with your current awareness, you are reclaiming your power to decide who comes in, what comes in, and what you allow in. So reclaim it. Okay? Is that kind of understand? I may sound like I'm a crazy person, but that's what I'm getting. She says, I'm a mess, so I understand. Laughing my ass off. Sounds right, resonates. All right. Glad I could help. It's crazy stuff, but that's how it is. All right. Let's see. Who else am I being drawn to? Katrina says her friend Autumn wants a message. She's going through a lot and could use some spirit guidance. Okay, Autumn. Let's do Autumn. Okay, Autumn, this one. All right. You're welcome. It confirms what I've been feeling. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not crazy. Well, I'm a little crazy, but I like myself that way because that makes me unique in my craziness. You gotta embrace your craziness. You gotta embrace it. It's what makes you you. Whoopah. Autumn. This is the card that came out. Oops, there it is. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender, the outcome is what? The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender, the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. It's all about surrendering. Things might not be going the way you had planned or envisioned. Things might feel desperate or hopeless at this time, but you need to surrender. And surrendering doesn't mean give up. Surrendering means you need to go into a state of acceptance that the universe has a plan, and that even though the what you're going through right now is uncomfortable and could be painful, but there is a purpose and intention behind it, that nothing happens without it being invited or accepted by the soul in order for expansion to occur. That is surrendering, okay? Surrendering is not quitting. It's not giving up or sitting and waiting for something to happen. That's not what surrendering is. It's really about accepting that everything occurs with purpose and intention, and therefore by examining the situation and asking yourself, what is the lesson here? How is this going to make me stronger? How is this going to push me or guide me in a different direction? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And once you see the purpose within it, then all of that fear and worry becomes dissolved, because you'll understand that the universe is actually assisting you and helping you through the pain and suffering that you've now allowed in some way or form. Also understand that you are the universe, so therefore you have a choice in how you choose to experience things. You have a choice in how you choose to see things. So understand also that as you are the universe and always the creative force behind the experiences that you are experiencing, ask yourself why this happened. Is there something you're insecure about? Where did it manifest from? So a lot of soul searching and kind of observation of the self needs to occur in order for you to find the answers that you need to change your outer reality at this moment. Okay. So what they're saying is the reason you're going through this is for you to go inward, because you've always tried to change the reality outside of you, but you can't change the outside reality without changing the inside. So this is really an opportunity that your soul has created for yourself to understand yourself better and to be guided in a direction of self authenticity, self-worth, and self-love. So seize the moment to really work on that self-love and self-appreciation. Understand that you have the power to change everything, but it starts with changing how you feel about yourself and your situation on the inside. Once you can accomplish that, then the outside will mirror back to you that love, that trust, that faith that you are now feeling on the inside. Okay, so I hope that helps, my love. All right. Jess. Thank you for the gift, Jess. Let's get a card for Jess. Oh, they're doubting. Should we go for both? Okay, we're going for both. 2. Okay. Jess. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Shar. Hi, Karen. You're welcome, Katrina. I hope that helps. Opa. Motivation, Jess. That's your first card. Motivation. And they wanted me to take this other pack and get a card from that one. It's kind of funny because the cards highlight, like I can see this glow around them. And sometimes they go glow, 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 glow. And then they're like basically saying, grab one of each. So if you guys, I just wanted to repeat that I'm having a live event on the 7th of September right here in France. If you ever thought about checking it out, you can find all of the information on my website, Emanuelle.com. It is a new website. I had to change because they were trying to screw us another a-hole at Wix.com when it comes to their fees. They just raised the prices with like 80 euros in one take. I was like, what? Okay, fuck you. So I will not go along with that extortion. And I found myself another website creator that basically offered me almost the exact same, not completely, but almost the exact same for a fraction of the cost. So Anunnaki, light codes, and motivation. These are the two that are coming forward. Okay. This is for Jess. Anunnaki, light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. It's almost like they're saying you are being asked. You're being asked to make the change. You're being asked to invest energy, focus, and time into something you've been thinking about for quite a long time, but have never put into action. So it's almost like now is the time for that. Now the energies are supporting that transformation. Okay, it's really important that as spring approaches, that you start to get the ball rolling. Okay, it's really important. They're also talking about motivation, but it's that is the motivation to say, okay, let's just do it. Let's just go for it. To no longer find excuses why something cannot be created or come to pass. It's about understanding that you're creating a new chapter. It's time to create a new chapter. It's almost like you've been hiding or you've been postponing what you have to do for so long because you were afraid that you don't have the capacities, or you don't have the talents, or you don't have the financial abundance to make it, or you don't have the support around you. And they're saying stop making excuses and start to write your new book. It's like start to write your new chapter. You have to, you feel it. It's almost like it drives you crazy to a certain degree because you're ignoring your intuition. You're ignoring what you know is true. And so if you need motivation to do it, understand that what you create will align more with who you are, and therefore your energy that you send out on a daily basis will transform itself and not only help and heal you, lead you to abundance and joy, but will also assist the collective into a higher vibrational frequency. Okay, because when we are aligned with our most authentic self and we are really trying to do things that bring us joy, then that joy is being emitted on a daily basis into the collective ether that then elevates the frequency for everyone that is connected in that ether. Does that kind of make sense? So you are not simply doing this for you, but you are doing this for many, many, many other souls that need your help through your joy. Okay? So I hope that helps a little bit. Sylvia, Corin, hello, my love. Sylvia, let's get you a card. You're getting a Metatron card today. All right. How much English do they speak there? Would knowing French be helpful? They don't speak a lot of English. So knowing French is helpful. But nowadays you have little things on your phone that you can just you speak in your English and it translates and speaks French for you. So you have free things on your phone that can help you to translate, okay? And it depends where you go. I mean, the younger generation is, but even them, they don't learn English in school. Maybe a little bit, like a few basic words, and that's it. In French, yeah. But there's a lot of English people living here, a lot of Brits, because it's very close to Britannia, to Brittany. I live in Britannia. I think with the ferry, it's only like an hour or so between England and France. So there's a lot of British people that live here, a lot of Australians, very few Americans. Gerald is one of the few. But like I said, the technology is advanced to such a degree that you can use your technology to communicate. But knowing French, of course, is a benefit. Metatron Rainbow Bridge, always open, Sylvia. In England, they do not teach French either. Yeah. Well, I come from Belgium, and in Belgium, we have 3 official languages, and we have to learn all 3 of them. So we have Dutch, French, and German. And so I learned all 3 in school. So, and then English, we learned that as well. When did we learn? Yeah, we learned that when we were about, it starts at 12, I think. But I learned I learned English when I was very young. English has always been, I think, in English even as a child. I didn't learn English until in school until I was 12 years old, but by the time we actually started, I could speak English fluently. So I was 2, 3, 4 years old when I started watching the BBC, and I watched Blue Peter on the BBC and cartoons and all of that. And my mom didn't know how I understood it, but I just did. So even my thinking, my native tongue is Dutch, but I don't think in Dutch. I think in English. So I think I just chose this language, this innate language, to just be present in my body because my body knew that I was going to talk a lot of English in my profession, probably, so I could communicate to a lot of people. So I didn't really have to learn. I was just born knowing it without it ever being spoken at home. So I could just watch the BBC and understand it. French, on the other hand, I had to learn. I would watch on French TV. We would watch cartoons as a kid, but I didn't understand what they were saying. That actually I had to learn in school. I used to watch Club Dorothée or something on the TF1. So when you go to Belgium, nothing is dubbed. In France, they dub everything. Every movie, everything is dubbed. And in Belgium, they don't dub anything. So we would watch movies with all kinds of languages, and we would just have subtitles. And that's how I learned to read fast, is reading subtitles. And so I picked up on a lot of different languages. And so Belgians are very multilingual. Even if we don't speak it perfectly, we'll find a way to explain it to you. Yeah, so for me, language has come very easily and very smoothly. Like, even if I don't understand the language, I still know what people are saying, which is weird, right? But that's because I speak energy. That's how I see it. That's how I can channel, because I don't need to. I can feel what numbers feel like. I can feel letters. I can feel colors. I don't always see it in my head, but I feel that, oh, your cat was black. I don't see the cat in my head. I can't visualize the cat, but I feel that the cat was black, or the cat was black with a white spot, or I don't know how to explain that, but I can feel energy. And so sometimes my neighbor speaks Bretonian, which is a very bizarre language. It doesn't sound like French. It doesn't sound like any language that I know. But she was saying something like a phrase, and I started laughing. And she says, "Well, do you understand what I said?" And I said, "Well, I think you said this." And she's like, "How do you know that? You don't speak that language." And I said, "I don't know, but I can pick up on the meaning of the words without me knowing the language." So, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something I do, and that's why, I pick up on languages very easily. Learning a language for me is very easy because I'm not afraid to not know every word, because I can still understand what they're saying, even though I don't know what that word means. It just translates automatically in my brain in a language that I understand, which is usually English. So, anyway, Sylvia. I keep getting drawn away. Metatron, Rainbow Bridge, always open. Okay. So, what they're showing me is that, you need to know that you're being protected. There's this big rainbow, yes, but this is what I'm being focused on, is this kind of angel wing. You're being taken under someone's wing. They're trying to help you, guide you, um, to really move in a direction of, it's almost like spontaneity. You need to approach life, how would I say it? For so long, your life was needed to be structured. Your life needed to have a certain rhythm, a certain routine, a certain schedule. And that chapter is over. But you're still trying to, in some way or form, it's like, in order for you to make sense out of your reality, you're still trying to find that schedule, that blueprint, that structure that gives you a sense of, okay, if I know what the structure is, I feel more comfortable with it. I feel safer knowing what is the plan, the structure gives you instructions on where you're going. And that's what it did for you before, but now comes a new phase where they're saying, let go of the need for a structure, a step-by-step plan to make sense out of your future life. They're saying what you need to do instead is let go of the need for that blueprint, for that step-by-step plan, throw it in the trash, and live and make decisions one day at a time based on what you feel is right in the moment. Okay. So it's really about being living more mindful and more impulsive, following your intuition, following what feels right, not because logically it's the best way to go, but because your heart tells you, try this, try that, roll with it, just kind of flow with it without over analyzing it or over questioning it. Am I wasting my time? Is this a waste of time? Will this bring in this? Will this bring in money? You're overthinking things because you're trying to desperately find the step-by-step manual to your new chapter. And they're saying you can't find a step-by-step manual right now because you haven't decided where you're going yet. So, and you won't discover where you want to go, what you want to unfold next, until you surrender and just kind of live life according to what feels right in the moment without attaching every action and reaction without attaching a pre-planned outcome to every action and reaction. Does that kind of make sense? So you kind of need to learn to live a little bit like me and just take it one day at a time, see where it leads you, see what happens. And when you surrender to that spontaneity of life, that's when the opportunities will come to you. That's when the answers that you're seeking will flow to you. Does that kind of make sense? So it's all about, you needed that structure, that blueprint in order to survive so many years, but now you're here to learn the opposite, or to experience the opposite of being free of a blueprint. Having the freedom to be able to move in one direction one day and then choosing to move in another direction the other day. That's the freedom that you haven't experienced yet in this lifetime. And that's the freedom that, your boys and that your team wants you to have, because it's within that freedom that the abundance will flow, that the opportunities will reach you, and that your peace will grow or will rise. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But that's the message that I'm getting, okay? All right, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to do a group card. And have a good day to you too, sweetheart. Okay, let's see who else. Who else? Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Carrie Larimer. Carrie Larimer. All right. Carrie. Oh, come on, give me a card. Which one is it? This one. Okay. They were like, Carrie Larimer. So I was thinking of starting something new. Let me know what you guys think. So I was thinking of for maybe starting this month, pulling a card per zodiac sign, and then letting spirit kind of give me information that might be important for you, or guidance for let's say the month March, and then every month pulling a card and giving you intuitively what I receive for that month for people with, let's say, Aries or Pisces or Virgo or whatever, per zodiac sign. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, just to give some guidance per month. I gotta find time to do it. That's another thing. But it's something I've been playing with. It's an idea I've been playing with, and I don't know what you guys think of that. Oop, there it goes, Carrie. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. We already had that card today. Very cool. What I'm getting for you, Carrie, is the answer to your question is the universe is working at it. Trust the universe, trust the opportunities that are being given, because any opportunity is an invitation to expansion. No matter, it's like they want you to get into a mind space where you're like, it doesn't matter where it leads to, it's an opportunity for growth and expansion, and it's going to help my soul in finding the experiences that it wants to have. So it's about really changing the mindset. When we as humans always move into something new, whether it's a new job, a new relationship, a new home, we immediately put this demand on it that everything has to, everything that is in connection to the home, the new relationship, the job, it better be worth it. It better be something positive. It better be, well, but the thing is, everything is positive, even the struggles that we go through, because it leads to expansion. It leads to your vibrational frequency changing, which then allows you to experience different kinds of incarnations and allows your soul to move closer to the frequency of source. So either way, everything is, from a spiritual perspective, positive and invited to occur. So approach this new adventure, this new opportunity, with the mindset of wherever it leads me, I don't need to know that right now. All I need to know is it is an opportunity, a chance for expansion, and I will fully embrace it because it feels right to me. And that's the only attitude you should have, and it will always lead to exactly what you wanted to experience, okay? Or at least what your soul wanted to experience. Let's do a group card. I hope that helps, Carrie. Carrie Larer. All right. Okay. Hi, Robert. It's just an idea I'm playing with, so let's get a group card for everybody. I don't know how it would work. I would probably just open my mouth, spitball out whatever I feel. But give it a try, I guess. See whether or not it's something that resonates with you guys once you get the message. I've never done it before, but just an idea. Because they keep erasing videos, YouTube. They just last week erased a video from 2021 because it went against the guidelines of the World Health Organization. Oh, Lord. So YouTube keeps attacking me. I don't really care, though. I'll keep going as long as I can. Ooh, we got 2. No, 3. No, 4. What? We have 4 cards that jumped out. I am presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. So this is for everybody. Crown chakra upgrade, divine connection, holy experiences, and miraculous energy. And then we have karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. And inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. The inner earth is your heart. See, this is a tree and these are like caves, but I always see shoulders and a neck, and your head is here, and this is your heart. Kind of like somebody's opening up your chest, your heart's right there. That's what I always see when I look at that card. I never see the tree. I always see this chest. I am presence, crown chakra upgrade, karmic board clearing, and inner earth. I think the message here is pretty clear. It's really about understanding that moving into the 5th dimensional plane is all about the I am. It's about defining yourself. It's about making new definitions based on your truth, on your authenticity, instead of them being based on, there's my daughter. I always know what she shovels her feet. Matu. Say bye-bye. Oh, she's speaking her own language. That's the Jada language. And she go to daddy. Okay? And Matu. Matu, don't lick the door. Bye. Autism. Anyway, so it's all about the I am. It's about understanding that in order to move into a 5th dimensional plane, you now have to really define who you are, you have to align with your most authentic self and let go of all of the preconditioned characters or character that you've designed yourself to be in order to fit in to the demands and manipulation of society, of family, of friendships. Okay. It's all about finding your inner truth and becoming it. It's not about defining yourself or finding yourself on an intellectual level. It's actually about becoming it. It's about embodying who you know you are um, inside. And then once we do that, the energy shifts, the energy, we get this upgrade, right? The crown chakra upgrade. It's really about um, once we truly align and become, that means every action, every reaction, every word, every thought, every feeling is now aligned with the loving, spiritual, empathic, um, connected being that you are. Once all of that starts to align, our energetic frequencies go skyrocket and allow the lower frequencies of the 3D and the 4D to fall away and allow the fifth dimensional energies to present themselves to you on a permanent basis. And that's really what the message is here, and in doing so, finding peace within your truth, embracing your quirkiness, embracing your characteristics. There are no good or bad characteristics. Everything was chosen to a certain degree in order to give you certain experiences. So you really have to embrace everything that you are. You really have to get to the bottom of it. You're kind of like an onion with so many layers that were placed upon you. You're like that pea, you're the pea, and you have all these layers of blankets on top of you or mattresses or whatever it was that were placed upon you. Conditioning, brainwashing, manipulation. Um, the world telling you how to think, how to feel, how to react, what is appropriate, what reaction is appropriate, what is inappropriate. This is a reaction that's not allowed. This is fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. That's what you have to learn now, is to shed all of those conditions. You know, etiquette, how you speak, how you're allowed to think, all of that needs to go. You got to scratch everything you think you know about you, and you have to start from zero. You have to start from the beginning. What do I know is true about me for sure that comes from me? And you kind of examine yourself and you go through every layer and say, okay, well, when I respond that way, does that really come from me, or was I programmed to respond that way? It's about really doing some real deep soul searching, real deep self observation in order to separate what is really you and what is societal programming. What is you? What is programming? And in a way, reprogramming the mind, the autopilot, and your actions, reactions, behaviors in order to align with who you are profoundly and deeply within, and then allowing that truth to influence and change your outside reality. Does that make sense? I hope that makes some sense. You know me, I just go blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, I'm like, I hope that made some sense, because I've already forgotten what I said at the beginning. Short term memory. Anyway, I've always been myself. I've had to let go of some programming, but for the majority, I've never allowed anybody to tell me what I can and cannot do. And if you tell me I cannot do, I am the kind of person that will definitely do exactly just that. So don't tell me I can't do anything, because I will do it. Okay. I will prove you wrong that I can do it. When I went to school, they told me, you have to make it, you have to like do tests, and I hate tests, and I was really bad at them, and to see how intelligent you are. And then they tell you what would be a good career move for you. I don't know if you guys had that, but we had that in school. they told me I was destined to be a cleaning lady because my intelligence was because I hate tests and I don't do well at tests. And I told them, no, I'm going to follow Latin and science. And that was the direction that I chose in high school, Latin science. That was my goal because I wanted to be a veterinarian and I knew I was going to need Latin for all the Latin words. And I wanted to do science for, because you're a veterinarian. And they told me, no, you're never going to be able to do that. And I said, no, really? Boy, did I struggle. But guess what? I graduated. I have a diploma that says Latin science on it. So they were wrong. It took me everything I owned to get through it. It was a big struggle, but I did make it through and I did pull myself through that. So that's just who I am. You cannot tell me I can't do something because I will prove you wrong. I've always been like that. I've always been very rebellious. I don't like to be told what to do. I never did. That's why I didn't like school. They were always like, you had to ask permission for everything. They always told you what to do. I hated school. And my parents always knew that I did not like to be told what to do. So they never did tell me what to do. They said, follow your heart, honey. Just, we'll support you in whatever it is you choose. My parents were always very, very supportive in that aspect. They allowed us the freedom to do and they always supported us. Even if our grades weren't great, they still supported us because they knew how much effort I put into it. So that has always been a sort of a freedom for me, and when I didn't like something, I would leave. I'm done with this. This I don't like. Or if people mistreated me or I had jobs that tried to take advantage of me, I was out of there very quickly. I was like, you know what? You do the work. You want to mistreat me or you want to abuse me? Fuck you. I'm out of here. Even if I wasn't allowed, because you had to give notice. I didn't give notice. I'm like, so what? Whatever. You do whatever. If you take me to front of the court, I will tell them that you attacked me. That was that was probably a little bit mean, but I was kind of rebellious very much at the time. And that was the only way that I could, get out of things because that was my reality. I'm not going to stay here for another month to do some kind of notice. Screw that. You guys mistreat me and then I got to show up for another month. No, I'm not doing that. So I always find a way out because that's just who I am. I'm kind of stubborn like that. And it's my reality. You can't tell me what to do. And I always find a way to get what I what I want in some way or form. But I'm also a person who gives a lot. Um, I've always helped people. I've always encouraged people. I've always tried to inspire people to follow their heart, to not let fear get to them. Because I've been there. I've been in the fear. So um, be you. Don't make excuses for who you are. If that, follow the love that's inside of you. You're all pure love. You didn't come here with a negative energy into you. Children aren't born negative or evil. Evil people are created because of the conditioning and the manipulation and the pain that's caused, them. So find compassion for everyone, even if they do evil things. Know that something happened to them that made them move in a direction that they felt like this is the only way where I can feel something, or the only way that I feel like I'm in control, or do you be your true self and do what's right for you. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something, or don't let anybody force you to do something that is against what you know is right for you. Find ways, but at the same time, don't hold anger towards them because they are who they are a lot of times because they were programmed to be that way. Okay. Find compassion that not everybody's strong enough to see the manipulation that's going on. Not everybody's ready to see it. But that doesn't mean that we can't love them. Don't have to hang out with them. That doesn't mean we can't hold on to love for their soul. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right? Okay, enough talking. I love you guys. And big kiss. I'm going to see whether or not I have the time to try that kind of zodiac sign thing. And if not, then if you go to my Patreon page, I do these every week. And if you want to stay on YouTube, that's fine too. Just know that I do these once a month for you guys. So I'm wishing you all the best for the rest of the month, and I will see you guys next time. Big kiss. Bye.